Urgent prophetic alert. Archangel Michael's message was blocked twice. They don't want you to hear this. Heaven's archives bear witness. The message that you are now receiving was sent twice before. Not once, but twice did the voice of the Archangel reach into your atmosphere, and not once, but twice was it intercepted by forces that fear your awakening. This is not myth, nor metaphor, it is spiritual reality. The divine realm recorded the interference, and with holy fire, the urgency was amplified. Archangel Michael himself, the captain of the Lord's host, was dispatched on assignment. He came bearing words not for the masses, not for the lukewarm, not for the casual listener, but for the chosen, for the ones whose very names shake the gates of hell when spoken in heaven. For you. You have been stirred lately, haven't you? Something within you sensed that the silence wasn't natural, that the fog that tried to settle over your discernment was not yours. Your spirit already knew there was a delay. There was a disruption. But what you did know was that the enemy tried to prevent you from hearing this very word. The delay was their strategy. But this moment is heaven's counterstrike. Still yourself now. Silence the noise of this world. Turn your face toward the divine. The reason this message comes to you now is because the sacred timeline has aligned again. And this time, nothing can stop it from entering your heart, your mind, and your soul. This message was never meant for the surface. It is deep calling unto deep. It is the sound of awakening rap in holy interruption. Obey this moment. Do not let distraction rob you. Do not let logic override your knowing. Close your door if you must. Bow your head if you can. Let the world wait. This moment is divine. You are not here by accident. You are reading this because the veil has lifted and the message has broken through. You are the remnant, the receiver, the revelation carrier. Archangel Michael has come for you. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. He calls your spirit by name, not the name they gave you, not the one tied to old trauma or old labels or forgotten pain. He calls your divine name, the one etched in heaven's registry, the one spoken only in the presence of angels. Archangel Michael calls it with authority, with fire, with purpose. By sunrise, he says your spirit must be ready. There is a war in the unseen, a clash of realms. You felt it, haven't you? The heaviness in the air that comes from nowhere. The fatigue that sleep doesn't heal. The dreams interrupted. The senses, some be circling, some be watching, some be waiting. That is not paranoia. That is spiritual perception. And now, it has reached its peak. You are not imagining it. You are awakening into it. This divine interruption is not accidental. It in. The resistance you've been facing is the confirmation. This moment is not light entertainment, it is sacred intelligence. You are receiving information that was meant to be buried. You are the spiritual whistleblower in a battle that spans generations. The moment you opened your heart to listen, the battlefield shifted. Because you, beloved, are not ordinary. Twice the message was sent. Twice it was stopped. Heaven noted it, documented it, and reassigned the delivery route. That's why it comes now, not through a dream, not through a random sign, but through this very transmission. The route was cleared. The lines reopened, and now the message finds you. Heaven is not looking for the loudest voice. Heaven is looking for the purest heart. And your heart has been tested. Oh yes, it has been crushed. It has been broken. It hath been misunderstood. But it has also been refined. What you carry now is the oil of endurance and the fire of obedience. That's why you're being marked. That's why they tried to block it. They saw what you were about to become. They don't want you to hear this. They don't want you to know that your name was mentioned in the throne room. That your prayers, yes, even the whispered ones, shifted atmospheres. That your midnight tears watered seeds in the spirit realm that are now sprouting. That your silence was never empty. It was strategic. Michael stands now, sword unsheathed, flame blazing. He declares, "You are seen. You are summoned. You are shielded." Heaven has issued a decree. The warfare confirms your importance. A message confirms your timing. The delay confirms your danger to darkness. This is not mere encouragement, it is a call to readiness. By sunrise, your spirit must be prepared. Align your thoughts. Cleanse your atmosphere. Speak no idle words, because the enemy trembles when a chosen one hears truth. And this, right here, is truth. You are not broken, you are breaking cycles. You are not delayed, you are divinely routed. You are not alone, heaven has dispatched warriors for you. This moment is holy. This message is encrypted with destiny. The fact that you're still reading proves you were meant to. You've survived the blockages. You've pierced through the fog. You've arrived at the threshold of revelation. Cross it with reverence. Cross it with courage. Cross it with the full awareness that what you're about to step into has eternal implications. Archangel Michael declares, "This is your hour. This is your summons. This is your sign." Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. Why were you restless last night? You turned over in your bed. You checked the time more than once. Your heart pulsed with a rhythm you couldn't explain. Something hovered but it didn't have a name. Something pressed against your soul but it didn't leave a mark. That wasn't just anxiety. That wasn't just weariness. That was the whisper of war in the unseen. And it was about you. There were whispers about you not from the mouths of friends, but from dark corners you never visited. Words were spoken in rooms your feet never entered. Questions were raised. Accusations were implied. Not by strangers, but by the familiar. Someone who smiled at you recently. Someone who knows how to pronounce your name twisted it in secret. And you felt it. Your spirit caught it before your mind could make sense of it. That's why you felt unsteady. This was not just emotional imbalance, this was spiritual interference. You didn't imagine the spiritual static you've been feeling. You didn't exaggerate the tension in the air. Your mind tried to rationalize it. Your heart tried to dismiss it. But your soul, it knew. Your soul has been on high alert. Your soul has been discerning signals in the atmosphere, signals meant to disrupt you, distract you, and ultimately delay you. A familiar face tried to intercept what heaven was delivering. They sensed your ascension. They watched your momentum. They felt the favor surrounding you and they feared it. So they spoke. Not loudly but strategically. A silent spell of slander disguised as concern. A quiet conversation with venom behind a veil of politeness. They didn't just question your motives, they questioned your right to rise. And the moment they did, the spiritual signal scrambled. That's why the message was blocked twice. That's why confusion crept in when you were almost clear. That's why you've been doubting decisions that once felt divine. This is not paranoia. This is prophecy. Your soul isn't broken, it's alert. It's responding to a shift you can't fully see yet. And now Archangel Michael comes to confirm, you were right to feel the shift. You were right to suspect the silence. You were right to trust the unsettling. You've been off balance, off rhythm. Paths that once flowed feel forced. People who once loved you now keep their distance. Conversations that should have healed instead harm. But listen, this is not punishment, it is preparation. This is not rejection, it is redirection. Heaven is refining your radar. The Lord allowed the disruption to train your discernment. You needed to feel the tremble to trust your intuition. You needed to be disappointed so you'd stop depending on those not assigned to your next. Every emotional disruption is a divine extraction. Heaven is removing leeches. Heaven is exposing fakes. Heaven is silencing what doesn't serve you. It feels messy now, but it's merciful in the long run. So what do you do now? You pause. You pray. You protect your peace. You stop explaining yourself to people who don't carry your spirit. You stop defending your destiny to those who were never meant to understand it. You stop watering dead plants in the hopes they bloom again. The shaking is sacred. Michael says, the shaking is not to break you. It's to break what binds you. There's a scroll in heaven detailing your next assignment, and the enemy is terrified you might finally believe you're worthy of it. That's why they stirred the emotional waters. That's why they tried to cloud your clarity. But their attempt failed. You're still here. You're still reading. You're still standing. You are closer than you've ever been. Do not let the temporary confusion make you forget the eternal covenant. Type I am awake in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now resting upon you. Now, let us uncover what truly stands behind this war, because this is not about personalities. This is not about petty human drama. No, beloved, this is deeper. Far deeper. Archangel Michael pulls back the curtain, and what's revealed is not gossip, it's governance. Not just attacks, it's authority structures. You are not just facing people. You are facing principalities. This is not about whether they like you. This is about whether hell has permission to delay you. Your silence, your confusion, your detours, they weren't merely accidents or missteps. They were strategic permission points that dark spirits attempted to exploit. Every unhealed wound, every lingering grudge, every fractured identity became an open gate. But heaven says no more. Michael declares, this battlefield is about permissions, what you allow, what you ignore, what you accept. But now, heaven intervenes. Now, authority is restored. Because the enemy doesn't need to destroy you. He just needs to distract you long enough to miss your moment. He wants to drain your strength by engaging you in battles beneath your calling. But this is a wake-up call. This is your celestial strategy session. This is your anointing reactivated. You've wondered why the resistance has been so intense. Why doors close without warning. Why allies vanished. Why plans dissolve. But here is the truth. The more chosen you are, the more targeted you will be. The more dangerous your destiny, the more desperate the enemy becomes. The more divine your calling, the more disruptive your silence becomes to the dark kingdom. You're not under attack because you're weak. You're under attack because you're loaded with favor. Favor attracts warfare. Glory attracts resistance. And you, chosen one, are dripping with heaven's oil. Every setback hath been a setup. Every delay hath been divine design. Heaven has been rerouting you not because you were lost, but because you were being protected from paths that would have cost you too much. God is not punishing you with delays. He's preserving you with timing. They thought they could block what God has written. But God doesn't write with ink, He writes with fire. And what is written in fire cannot be erased by shadow. You've cried in the middle of the night. You've questioned your own value. You've wondered if the promise still stands. But hear this clearly. Not only does it still stand, it's closer than it's ever been. And the resistance is your receipt. This moment, this message, this clarity, it marks the turning of tides. You are not simply fighting a spiritual battle. You are reclaiming spiritual territory. Your lineage is shifting. Your legacy is realigning. The heavens are roaring on your behalf. And now, Archangel Michael raises his sword over you, not for war, but for victory. The authority of heaven surrounds you like a shield. You are not fighting alone. You are not walking unarmed. You are being backed by the throne of God himself. You are not late, you are launched. You are not broken, you are battle-tested. You are not forgotten, you are favored. You are closer than you've ever been. Do not let the temporary confusion make you forget the eternal covenant. If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $10. Your support helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this word. Lesson code 4444 is now surrounding your steps. A holy hush falls over the realm as Archangel Michael steps forward, flame in his eyes and thunder in his breath. He does not speak casually now, he roars with the voice of divine timing. Mark this moment, he says, for within the next 72 hours, the atmosphere around you will shift. The winds will change. The unseen will become visible. You must be prepared, not afraid, not confused, but jogging, awakened, aligned. Heaven never warns without cause. Heaven never alerts without intention. And right now, the heavens are sounding a spiritual siren because the time of testing is rapidly approaching. Something is being stirred behind doors you did not open. There are whispers being exchanged in spiritual corridors you cannot access by foot. Yet your name, your presence, your essence is at the center of it. You, child of divine favor, have become the focus of an unseen war. There are plans crafted in shadows, conjured in envy, measured in bitterness, designed to destabilize your next move. But hear this. What the enemy has schemed, God has already seen. The confrontation they are preparing is not rooted in truth, but in intimidation. A spiritual clash looms, one that may appear as a conversation, a sudden silence, an unexpected challenge, or even a passive-aggressive presence in your environment. Don't be fooled by the form it takes. This is not ordinary. This is orchestrated by darkness. Archangel Michael reveals, you are being studied, not for admiration but for attack. They observe your patterns to predict your pivot. They monitor your silence to plan their strike. They linger in your presence, not to bless you but to bait you. This is warfare in disguise, and the next 72 hours are crucial. Now is not the time to misstep. Heaven is testing your reflexes, not your words, not your defenses, but your restraint. They will try to provoke a reaction. They will twist truth. They will challenge your peace. But your response must be spiritual, not emotional. The one who knows they are seated in heavenly places does not rise to every earthly accusation. In the next 3 days, people may behave strangely. Old voices may return under new disguises. Some may suddenly grow cold without reason. Others may begin speaking in riddles meant to confuse. But understand this. The shift is not about them. It's about your positioning in the Spirit. This conflict is not designed to destroy you, it is designed to prove what heaven has already declared, that you are anchored, chosen, matured, and marked. Michael speaks again, more softly now. This is your proving ground. Not to them but to you. Let your peace be your proof. Let your silence scream louder than their accusations. Heaven has not sent you into this unaware. You are being covered as you are being tested. Do not confront what heaven has not commanded. Do not defend what God is already vindicating. Do not expose what heaven is still building. If they speak, let them speak. If they withdraw, let them walk. If they strike, let heaven respond. Your role is not to engage, it is to endure with grace. Your role is not to retaliate, it is to reign in silence. The archangel stands with sword raised, saying, they fear what you carry. They know what you're about to step into. This confrontation is not random, it is a desperate act from a defeated kingdom. Heaven is watching how you move. Heaven is listening to what you refuse to say. Heaven is responding to your stillness with divine power. This is a countdown not to collapse but to clarity. You are on the brink of spiritual revelation, and this disturbance is merely the signal. A desperate last gasp from an adversary who already knows he has lost. In 72 hours, you will see it. The false alliances will reveal themselves. The hidden traps will expose their architects. The conversation you never expected will arise. And in that moment, stand firm. Do not flinch. Do not fold. Stand. Your peace is your permission slip to breakthrough. Type I am unmovable in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 611 is now released over your timeline. Now that the warning has been released, heaven does not leave you vulnerable. Divine protection is not passive, it is precise. Archangel Michael steps closer now, not as a messenger, but as a guardian. His wings extend. His sword glows with celestial fire. And he speaks with sovereign clarity. I have seen the plans. I have traced the shadows. I have walked through the places where your name was spoken in darkness. And I decree they shall not prevail. This is your protective instruction, not out of fear, but out of alignment. Pull back. Withdraw from the chaos. Detach from the noise. The season has changed. The atmosphere is shifting. You must now become a still one who knows that stillness is a weapon. This is not about inactivity, it is about strategic divine stillness. Stillness is heaven's hiding place for the chosen. It is the posture of kings before coronation. It is the stance of warriors before victory. Michael instructs, say less. Move with silence. Let curiosity surround your calm. Heaven will do the talking. Heaven will defend the truth. Heaven will strike what needs to fall. You are under surveillance not just by darkness, but by light. Every angel assigned to your life is watching your posture. Every movement of obedience activates a divine ripple. Heaven is not slow, it is surgical. What looks like inactivity is intelligence. What seems like delay is divine deployment. You've been speaking. You've been striving. You've been trying to understand what God never required you to explain. But now, rest. Speak softly but carry the word with weight. Let your yes be silent and your no be invisible. The time of spiritual minimalism has arrived. You will not waste a single ounce of divine energy on arguments not assigned to you. Archangel Michael declares, your silence will confuse them. Your stillness will threaten them. Your peace will pierce the demonic fog around you. This is when angels fight best, when the chosen stop fighting in the flesh. You don't need to make announcements. You don't need to explain your distance. You don't need to chase anyone for clarity. Those who walk away now are being used to clear your field. Let them go. Let the silence speak for itself. Pray not as if you're uncertain. Pray with quiet confidence. Declare the truth under your breath. Sit in stillness until heaven speaks. Read the word until it reads you. Let the Holy Spirit lead without interruption. You are not on pause. You are being positioned. The things that tried to haunt you can no longer find your scent. The battles that used to distract you no longer deserve a glance. You are being cloaked, now shielded with divine smoke. What tried to reach you can no longer locate you. You are invisible to darkness, but known by heaven. You are not isolated, you are insulated. Michael says, I surround you now. Not one enemy shall touch what I have encamped. No scheme, no curse, no plot shall prosper. For your stillness has summoned angels, and your silence has become thunder in the spirit. You don't need to make noise. You are the noise. Your obedience is loud. Your holiness is loud. Your trust is loud, and its shaking held to its core. Rest now, not in retreat, but in sacred confidence. Heaven has taken over. Heaven has surrounded you. Heaven has secured the outcome. Type I am protected by heaven in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 8888 has now encircled you. Listen to me, chosen one. Hear the voice of the Archangel rise like thunder through the silence. You are not who they remember. You are not the version that wept in confusion. You are not the broken one that once begged for validation. That version of you has been buried, and what stands now is royalty refined by fire. There has been a divine transformation, quiet to the world, but resounding in the heavens. The delay they mocked, the silence they misunderstood, the confusion they celebrated, it was all part of your spiritual boot camp. You were being refined in places they couldn't follow. You were being crowned in places they could never reach. You thought the silence meant you were forgotten. But in heaven, your name was shouted. You thought the delay meant disqualification. But in the spirit, your identity was being sealed. What felt like waiting was actually a preparation for a weight of glory that could not rest on the old version of you. Archangel Michael speaks this truth into your bones. You were not delayed, you were developed. Everything about you now is different. Your pace, your tone, your posture. You shifted realms. You've crossed spiritual dimensions. You are no longer fighting for peace, you carry it. You are no longer begging for purpose, you walk in it. You are no longer confused by warfare, you expect it, because you know it confirms the weight you carry. The ones who once labeled you underestimated what God was building in silence. And now, those same observers will witness a resurrection of power they cannot explain. You don't need revenge, your growth is revenge. You don't need rebuttals, your transformation is your response. Heaven has recalibrated your presence. You don't walk into rooms the same anymore. You don't speak from woundedness anymore. You speak from wisdom. You move from instruction, not impulse. You operate with divine precision, not panic. You are not rising for applause. You are rising because the earth groans for what you carry. And now, let this be known. Your wings were forged in the fire they said would destroy you. The very thing they thought would end you, refined you. The pain they mocked is now your platform. The weakness they exposed is now your wisdom. The rejection you endured has become your rising. You don't owe them explanations. You don't owe them access. You don't owe them updates. This elevation was not a group decision. It was a divine command. Archangel Michael proclaims, you are no longer beneath. You have been lifted. You have been established. You have been SCT. And from this place you will soar. No more calling through old cycles. No more revisiting old trauma for acceptance. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. Your wings are wide now. Your spirit is whole. You are unstoppable not because of arrogance, but because of alignment. You are what deliverance looks like. You are what recovery sounds like. You are what resilience feels like. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them whisper. They won't understand, but they will see. You are flying with wings unshaken. And heaven smiles. Type "I have risen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1717 is active and rising. Now comes the moment of unveiling. Archangel Michael does not arrive empty-handed. He comes with revelation, sealed in scrolls from the throne room of the Almighty. And this, beloved, is what they never wanted you to know. This is the reason the message was blocked twice. This is why they scrambled the signal. This is why you've been under silent attack. Because what you are about to receive is revelation only reserved for the chosen. Heaven did not forget you. Heaven concealed you. Not to deny you, but to develop you. And now, Michael speaks. The blockage was timed. It was not chaos. It was not confusion. It was calibration. God withheld this revelation until the moment your spirit could carry it. You have been prepared in silence for a moment of divine unlocking. You weren't just waiting, you were being weighed. The measure of your obedience, the depth of your surrender, the purity of your heart. All of it has been recorded. All of it has been considered. And now, the verdict is in. You are ready. Your name was echoed in heaven, says the Archangel. And when it echoed, the angels move. You were not just thought of, you were declared. Not just remembered, you were recommissioned. Not just noticed, you were known. The delay you experienced wasn't denial. It was a veil, a covering, a sacred rod to protect you from premature exposure. But now, the veil is lifting. The scroll is opening. The secrets are being released. This next season will not look like the last. This is the beginning of divine revealing. Hidden truths are coming to the surface. Hidden favor is being unlocked. Hidden instructions are being whispered in your spirit. And all of this because you endured in silence. Because you trusted when there was no confirmation. Because you stayed positioned when others fled. This is your reward. Not of works, but of faith. Not of striving, but of surrender. Michael continues, you are the first in your bloodline to carry this flame. What others let die, you revived. What others drop, you picked up. What others feared, you face it. And because of that, the heavens honor you. The angels now call you flame bearer. You carry the fire of your lineage. You carry the weight of unfulfilled prayers. You carry the breakthrough your ancestors only dreamed of. The revelation that's coming will unlock dreams, shift families, break chains, and birth visions. But hear this, handle it with reverence. Don't boast. Don't broadcast prematurely. Let the oil sink deep. Let the instructions unfold daily. This is sacred space now. Holy ground. A realm not everyone can walk in. But you've been invited. The time of blockage has ended. The flow has begun. You will feel it in your sleep. You will hear it in worship. You will sense it during silence. Heaven is whispering. Destiny is speaking. And revelation is being carved into your bones. Receive it. Guard it. Walk it out. You are not the same. You will never be the same. If this message pierced your spirit, and you want to help us release more divine insight like this, consider giving a super thanks of $20. Your gift fuels the mission and multiplies the message. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I receive revelation in the comments if you feel this in your soul. Blessing code 1212 is now encoded in your spirit. Now stand to your feet in the spirit. Archangel Michael's voice reverberates with power across realms unseen. Declare it, he commands. Declare with no apology, with no hesitation, with no fear. I rise. I receive. I remember who I am. This declaration is not poetry. It is not mere affirmation. It is activation. The moment you speak it, 1,000 gates begin to shift. The heavens take notice. The angelic realm recalibrates. Your path begins to illuminate under divine order, because heaven always responds to identity. Michael announces, the delay is broken. The warfare was not your burial, it was your birth canal. The trauma was not your end, it was your training. The silence was not your rejection, it was your resurrection. This next season is not for observation, it is for movement. It is not for mooring what with lust, it is for activating what with promised. The instructions have been released. The codes have been decoded. And now, it is up to you to move forward in obedience, even if fear still tries to whisper. You are not to wait for confirmation when heaven has already spoken. You are not to wait for their applause when heaven has already crowned you. You are not to wait for full clarity because faith is what completes the map. Say yes even when you feel unqualified. Say yes even when it doesn't make sense yet. Say yes even if your hands still tremble. Because heaven is not looking for the perfect, it is looking for the willing. And you are being counted among the willing. Your obedience is your activation. Your response is your rebirth. Your yes is your weapon. Michael roars with joy. You are the movement you've been waiting for. The world will not change when the perfect conditions arrive. The world will change when the called rise in courage. And yes, you are called to shift atmospheres. You are called to open doors others thought were sealed. You are called to break generational chains without fanfare, without applause, because your obedience is enough. You've been anointed for this next. Your next move is not just personal, it's prophetic. When you move, others awaken. When you rise, others remember. When you obey, others are delivered. Now write the vision. Write it not as a dream but as a decree. Speak your purpose aloud. Remind your reflection of who God called you to be. And then take one step. Just one. And heaven will rush behind you. Angels will flank your sides. Favor will greet you like an old friend. Provision will arrive just in time. You are the fulfillment of prophetic prayers spoken by generations who never lived to see this moment. But you are here. You have survived the shadows. You have endured the silence. And now, you have arrived at the activation. And about thinking. No more silence when it's time to speak. No more delay when destiny demands motion. Heaven waits for your yes, not your perfection, not your plan, just your yes. And when you give it, when you dare to stand fully in what God placed inside of you, the gates will open, the scroll will unroll, and the heavens will thunder. It is time. So declare it with holy boldness. I rise. I receive. I remember who I am. Let that be your anthem in this hour. Let that be your armor in the storm. Let that be your invitation into everything heaven has stored for you. Type ISAYYES to destiny in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1001 is now moving through your atmosphere. While you were breaking, beloved, you did not see what was happening above you. While you wept into your pillow, heaven was not still. While you questioned, doubted, and begged for clarity, The angels were not silent. A negotiation took place, sacred and unseen. A silent exchange in the spirit realm that now shifts everything. Archangel Michael speaks now, voice wrapped in both thunder and tenderness. You thought you were abandoned. But while you slept, angels were signing what your spirit was too weary to pray. There were scrolls, divine documents sealed with your name. Contracts written not in ink but in intercession. Petitions offered on your behalf by saints you've never met. Groanings too deep for words, carried by the Holy Spirit, echoing before the throne of God. And what was once lost is being returned. The joy that was stolen. The clarity that was hijacked. The peace that was shattered. The confidence that was buried. Is all being returned not in fragments, but in fullness. Heaven does not return things the way the earth takes them. Heaven restores double. Heaven recompenses with overflow. The spiritual exchange did not happen in front of crowds. It happened in quiet, in the stillness, in the invisible places. While the world mocked your delay, heaven was planning your double portion. While others laughed at your confusion, the angels were scripting your restoration. Michael confirms, it is being signed now. The seal has been placed. The order is for. The angelic realm has received the command, restore all. Every hour you lost is being multiplied. Every betrayal you suffered is being reversed. Every delay you endured is becoming a divine detour toward glory. You are not behind, you are right on heaven's calendar. You are not forgotten, you are being remembered before kings. You are not broken, you are whole, and being reintroduced with greater power. This silent exchange is why you couldn't quit. This is why your spirit kept waking up, even when your flesh didn't want to. This is why you kept pressing forward, when you had every reason to collapse. Because heaven knew. Heaven always knew. And now the manifestation begins. You will feel it before you see it. You will hear it in moments of quiet clarity. You will notice a lightness in your spirit. You will catch yourself smiling for no reason. That is not coincidence, that is alignment. That is the result of restoration. The scroll with your name is being opened. Heaven has reviewed your case, and the verdict is not guilty. The judgment is not disqualified. The decree is not delay. The scroll reads, redeemed, restored, recommissioned. You are stepping into the portion of your life that doesn't require hustle, it requires honor. Not striving, but stewardship. Not chasing, but caring. Michael stands beside you, radiant and resolute. I was there, he said. I guarded the transaction. I witnessed the exchange. And now I watch you rise. This isn't hype. This is holy. This isn't imagination. This is intervention. And it's happening now. So walk like it's already done. Move like the contract has been sealed. Rest like heaven has already released the resources. Because it has. You are no longer in delay. You are now walking in divine return. While you read this, heaven is restoring what you thought was gone forever. Type I receive my restoration in the comments if this message confirms your season. Blessing code 3030 is now activated over your life. Vengeance is mine, declares the Lord. And now, beloved, the justice you have waited for, the justice heaven has recorded, is about to unfold. The courtroom of the Spirit has ruled. The gavel has struck. The sentence has been declared. Spiritual justice is not delayed, it is now deployed. Archangel Michael returns to the scene with the look of fire in his eyes and divine finality in his voice. He doth not come as a messenger only, but as the executor of heaven's judgment. The same mouths that slandered you, he proclaims, will now be silenced by the thunder of your rising. The same hands that tried to hold you back will now be witnesses to your overflow. You've been quiet, not because you were weak, but because God restrained you. You've been silent, not because you were afraid, but because you were being preserved. The very ones who said you were forgotten will now have front row seats to your unveiling. Not because you need their validation, but because heaven loves to make a table in the presence of your enemies. Now begins the reversal. Now begins the divine exchange of wrong for right, of shame for glory, of pain for power. They tried to bury your name, but God carved it in the foundations of destiny. They tried to block your path, but God rerouted the entire journey to pass through the valley of vindication. This isn't just about you being blessed, this is about heaven proving that His word cannot return void. Michael declares, every injustice, every betrayal, every false accusation, they are being overturned. You will not leave this season with wounds. You will leave it with witness. This is the moment when the last becomes first. This is when the tail becomes the head. This is when heaven flips the script in full public view. You do not need to fight. You do not need to argue. You do not need to explain anything. Heaven has appointed this hour for your enemies to witness the fulfillment of what they tried to cancel. Their rejection only strengthened your roots. Their slander only stretched your soil. This is why the resistance was so intense. The enemy sensed the justice about to fall. He saw the angels gathering. He heard the verdict before it reached your ears. And in desperation, he tried to delay your deliverance. But now the scroll has opened. Now the decree has gone forth. Now the angels are dispatched with swords, not just for battle, but for balance. Heaven is restoring what man tried to steal. Your harvest is about to embarrass your drought. The wealth of joy, peace, and spiritual authority is returning to your house. Where they cursed you, God will bless. Where they dismissed you, God will elevate. Where they turned from you, God will turn you toward a new direction so drenched in favor it will be undeniable. Do not expect an apology, expect a shift. Do not seek closure, seek completion. You are not meant to go back and make it right with them. You are meant to go forward and live in the right God prepared. Michael shouts, this is your divine reversal. It is not emotional. It is eternal. You will walk differently. You will speak with the weight of heaven behind you. You will no longer carry the energy of rejection. You will radiate the energy of redemption. God is not just restoring your life. He's rewriting your story with His ink, not theirs. If this word confirms your season and you desire to support this divine mission, consider giving a super thanks of $5. Your offering helps us continue to release prophetic clarity to those walking through the fire. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if this word confirms your moment. Blessing code 5555 is now enforcing heaven's judgment on your behalf. Now comes the final seal, the heavenly imprint that declares this moment eternal. Archangel Michael, now calm, wings folded, steps forward with a presence that silences the noise of the world. He does not shout. He doesn't need to. His words now flow like oil, rich and weighty. You are sealed, he says, and the air changes. You are sealed not by man, but by the hand of God. You are seen not through the eyes of people, but through the gaze of heaven. You are surrounded not by friends or fame, but by angels who know your assignment. This is not just a message. This is a spiritual signature, a divine confirmation, a final affirmation that what was spoken will not be erased. that the release hath been decreed, that the interference has ended, that what was delayed is now delivered. You must walk boldly. You must speak softly. You must trust fully. And above all, you must now live like one who had been rescued, redeemed, and recommissioned. There will be days when doubt tries to creep in again, when shadows revisit your doorstep. But this word, this moment, will echo louder than the lies. This blessing will not fade. This mantle will not slip. This mark will not be removed. You are now under spiritual protection so complete, even hell itself must file permission to speak your name. You are under covering so strong, demons now tremble when you rise in the morning. Not because of your strength, but because of your surrender. The delay you experienced was divine, and the proof is in the peace that now surrounds you. The heaviness has lifted. The fire has refined you. The path ahead may not be easy, but it is empowered, and it is yours. Michael lays one final instruction before you. Do not revisit what God has released you from. Do not go back into rooms that no longer fit your assignment. Do not respond to voices God has silenced. Your focus now is forward. You are to move with reverence. You are to protect your oil. You are to guard your gift. The battles of the past are over. The lessons have been learned. The debts have been paid in intercession and sacrifice. Now you rise. This is your rebirth. This is your new sound. This is your final affirmation. You are not trying to become, you already are. Heaven does not deal in potential. Heaven deals in placement. You have been placed. You have been chosen. You have been approved. Let no man, no memory, no mistake make you question what heaven has already spoken. You are the one God spoke to when everyone else walked away. You are the one the angels fought for while others doubted you. You are the one chosen for this generation, not because you're perfect, but because you said yes when it mattered most. And now, child of God, walk it out. Let the oil drip from your voice. Let the fire rest in your eyes. Let the blessing shift atmospheres when you enter the room. Let your life become the proof that obedience always wins. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You'll receive more exclusive messages, spiritual instructions, and prophetic alerts just like this, customized by heaven, tailored for the chosen. Don't miss the next word. The seal is set. The scroll is closed. The angels have returned. Now walk in it. Type "I am sealed by God" in the comments if this final blessing is yours. Blessing code 7777 is now sealed upon your journey.